And then Mundo is, okay, we're going to be low engage and scaling, so make sure you bring enough damage. Like, none of these things are good early in the draft, they're good late in the draft. It's like...
It's a bit of a telegraphed situation.
Exactly. If you and me were going on a first date, I'm not going to overshare. I'm going to say, here's my financial situation, my past trauma, what went wrong in my other relationships.
I would actually really appreciate that, though.
And
I'm not
the other team appreciated that, too.
Communication's really good if you're trying to work together. However, if this is with your opposition, it's probably not what you're wanting to do. So even though I loved the analogy, it wasn't very good. Ash, Lulu, and Rumble have been banned away, though, as we jump into our HyperX Champ Select, and it is going to be the Nautilus as the final ban after the Orianna and the Ryze. I do like the Ryze being taken away. I think that champion is completely broken, but is the Azir actually going to be picked? That's my question.
It has been nerfed, and we've seen some teams still banning it, some teams deciding to pick it away. Vikla could play the Azir.
He does like it. I don't know whether I like him playing it, but he does like it.
Okay, I didn't like anything Vikla played in his first series.
Yeah, true. All the way he played it. But we'll just have to see whether he is leveled up moving into their next series of the tournament. The Vi has been picked. This is the perfect time for Raptor to go towards his Nefiri. Okay. We saw it hovered all series in the last one, but I think this is actually a decent angle for it. Instead, looking at a monkey.
Yeah, I mean, Wukong is also just good. So,
yeah, true.
Xin also good. This is the more standard game on jungle drafts where you just blind pick a Sundered Sky jungler. But this is the interesting one with Karma being picked. So it's only been picked once here at first stand, but it's been banned an exceptional amount.
And it was Kellen that played it, I'm pretty sure.
It's one of the sleeper OP champions I feel like must be dominating in scrims because we haven't seen it really that much globally, except here at this event, it's been almost permabanned. So really looking forward to seeing if Diablo and Kellen can dominate something bot lane with Karma.
I do think that it's also really good early in Fearless Draft, right? Because it pairs exceptionally well with Ezreal and Sivir especially, and you can guarantee to get one of those, right?
Yeah.
They are going to pick away the Varus, though, on the side of Team Secret Whales. As Dero thinking about the Rakan, I think Rakan is really difficult to play when you're looking down the barrel of a pushing lane.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think one of the reasons Karma's probably such high prio is because it is going to get pushed on basically everything.
True.
So at the end of the day, I think they want to just be able to start a team fight or support a gank. So I understand picking Rakan on 3 here. I want to say Karma's also really good with champions like Xin.
Yep.
Xin is really good with enchanters. I think it's an underrated aspect, and it's just the Karma Ezreal. It's the classic.
Yep, they could pick whichever one they wanted, whether it be the Ezreal or the Sivir. Going with the Ezreal this time around gives Diablo a lot of independence. The young man able to go anywhere he would please. The Vi will follow him, though, so we'll see whether Histo can get on top of this 80 carry, this young man. But next round of bans to come on through, and we're looking at top lane and mid for both teams. Very interesting that in a game 1 of a best of 5 in Fearless, we've seen both of the bottom lanes fully locked down. It's not often what you see. It's normally solos and jungle, or like a cheeky OP or something like that on the bottom side of the map, like a Bard or something. But it's not often that we see this. Often later in the drafts that you'll see the bottom lane locked away this early.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of time you're waiting for support counterpick, but I think that's why the Karma changes this draft just a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the sneaky Volibear ban there by BFX. They were doing their research, looking at the champ pool of pun and saying, wait a minute, this thing is weird. I don't want to play against anything weird. Let's get rid of it.
Not dealing with it. It does make some sense. That's all right. K'Sante going to be taken away from Clear. Clear is a man with a decent champion pool, but I have to say that his Rumble and K'Sante are easily his most feared champions. So good research being done here.
See the Korean Dokla?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like, he was actually... So the matchup between Clear and Thanatos was some of the best league in Challenger a few years back.
Oh, interesting.
They were the 2 best players by a country mile, right? DRX versus DK was like the big matchup down there. Clear didn't find quite as much success when he made it to the LCK, and Thanatos, of course, just left the country. Yeah. So we never really got to see too much of it again.
Still hasn't won the LCS.
Not quite.
Yeah, Cloud9. They can pull it together.
I reckon they did look all right. Although, do we want to talk about the America's Cup, or do we want to? Okay, we'll
I think
leave
we should
that
talk about First Stand.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, First Stand is great.
Mel is going to be banned away here. Vikla already showing that one in their previous series, and the Renekton is going to be the lock-in. This is one of Clear's favorites as well. Sometimes you just can't ban them all.
Yeah, and they did a good job to set it up with the Gnar ban as well as the Volibear ban. So 2 protect bans to then blind pick your top laner, and I don't necessarily think you have a good counter pick to Ahri, but Vikla will at least get to see the entire team comp before he decides to lock it in. And we'll see what Pun ends up going against the Renekton. Usually you want to go with some type of a neutralizing pick, like an Ornn or a Scion. But if he goes Gwen, that's a lot of squishiness and a lot of damage, and he's going for it.
Yeah, you can fight fire with fire, and this is scary. I mean, if it's going to work, then it could be Team Secret Whales really running away with this one. But the Annie for Vikla is going to be locked away. Does feel like Vikla has gone back to a little bit more of his utility ways. He was playing a lot of carries, finding a lot of success in the LCK Cup, but it wasn't a great start to first stand. So I think, you know, back to it, throwing bears at people and seeing whether Diablo can carry the game in the end. Pretty balanced drafts on both sides, but honestly, if you turn the nameplates off, as you say, kind of like how Team Secret Whales' comp has came together at the end with the amount of damage that you have on top of a lot of snap engage.
And a lot of abilities to flank and split push. So there's a lot of good things going on. Have you ever called it the Viklanny?
No.
I think it works.
Maybe today we can start calling it the Viklangy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd said Viklangy. And that doesn't sound right. That just sounds like something noisy falling down the stairs.
And then Annie.
If he does lose a lot, then perhaps we can go with the Viklangy instead. It can be a bit of a clanger.
Will he give up first blood again?
Yeah.
Find out soon.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. But ladies and gentlemen, one of these teams will be making their way out of the tournament. The other one stays alive. We'll see whether Team Secret Whales can make a dent in BNK FearX here in game number 1. But we have to say, up against BLG, they didn't look too bad, going all the way to 5 games. The last draft was something that I would prefer not to talk about again. But there was certainly some moments for BNK in their series, despite the 3-0 on the other side of the rift. So I think we're expecting BNK to be the favorites here. Team Secret Whales might have some secrets up their sleeves.
And that's the hope. We know how well CFO did last year. This team qualified from the same region, even if they are a full Vietnamese team. So they definitely have aspirations of doing well on the world stage. Winning domestically is not enough for them. And it was probably just a demoralizing 3-game series that they played against G2. For what it's worth, G2 did a lot of discussion about their ability to beat jet lag, etc.
Yeah.
But their time zone is 4 hours different, and they took one flight that was direct to Brazil. You know how long the travel day was for TSW? It was like 35 hours. Yeah. So if anyone is going to use the jet lag excuse...
I did the same trip, by the way, that BNK FearX did, and I would not recommend that on my to my worst enemy. It's actually just the other side of the planet. So it's a tough one.
They've had a couple of extra days to recover.
Honestly, we're on about the same timeline. Korea and Vietnam are very close. It's saying it's just one over. So the travel would be about the same between the two squads when all is said and done. Having a look now, though, we can see that the Karma has push in the bottom lane. Jat, who would have thought?
And they're also starting Sweeper, so they're trying to make sure they have full control of both pushes.
Yep, and live on patch 2606, check out the Warhound Senna. Portion of the skins proceeds will be shared across the LoL Esports teams as well, so you're going to be supporting all of the teams at the same time if you pick up a cool skin. Not too bad. That's all right. Vikla throwing some damage towards Dire here in this mid lane as well. I have a habit of reading the screen, by the way, chat. I just want to let you know. I've made this mistake many times with players like Yehu, who has a K at the start of his name. I commentated him for about 2 years. Silent. I still call him Kyehu sometimes.
That's understandable.
So if I call Dire in this game, I promise it's just my brain not working.
Yeah, and all of Worlds he was called Dire. But we know he...
And now we've figured it out.
Actually, it's Dire.
Maybe it was my fault.
I think it was your fault.
I was just reading it this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me. Well, I apologize in advance to everyone from the LCP that might be a little bit frustrated if I do make that mistake. All right, and we'll forgive you for calling BNK FearX BFX as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the... As we're watching these lanes trade back and forth, like, D-Ray versus Dire is one of the less offensive requests. I think Yahoo, the K is silent. That's just trolling, man.
His name's not Yahoo?
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
I mean, you're still saying the K is silent and putting a K at the start of your name.
Yahoo's like a word. That would be so good if that was his name.
It's like if Pun was called Un. Like,
true.
I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to, but I would still have to.
Yep. It was ADD back in the day as well, and you're supposed to pronounce it Ed.
Okay,
that's what he wanted, and it was capitalized. It looked like an acronym. That one was very difficult.
His BDD was also in the league.
He was. I don't know whether they were playing at the same time. I know ADD in the LCK was playing for MVP in about 2018, so quite some time ago, because that was back at OGN. I remember when he was hanging out there. As Histo having a look towards this top side of the map as we do bring it back to the video game momentarily. Clear has been lit on fire as well as Pun having a pretty good time in the lane.
Histo has snuck around though. He's going to get spotted right now. See if he can get the gank off.
Yeah, Pun already getting these scissors out, and I don't even know whether the Vi was needed, but he's still going to throw down the flash. First blood goes over to Histo. A great start here for Team Secret Wales.
Beautifully done by Histo, and for any struggle that TSW has had internationally, it has not been Histo's early game. This guy has consistently been able to get early kills. And remember, this is an elimination series, so it's very important that they get out to a good start. Winner will advance to play G2. Loser's going to go home. It'll be 2 series and out here at first.
Yeah, it's so much pressure between these 2 squads, and getting out to an early lead in a series like this can really alleviate a lot of that pressure. So this first game can be really important. We know there's been a lot of teams that have spoken about the importance of game 1. They've come into an interview and said, if we win game 1, we win. It doesn't even matter if we drop the game throughout the series. That will provide us with enough confidence to make this happen. And good charm there from Dire, as Raptor will take 50% of his health, but
he's trying to race
the commitment to the Raptors.
And this is all because Karma's invaded the jungle because they have bot prowess. So they're just really trying to force numbers on enemy Raptors. And Vikla also has stun up, so Histo has to just get rid of it. This is a delayed punish for the gank that he did top lane, so nicely executed there. Everyone on BNK Furex had to be involved in that play in order for it to work.
Yep. And when the cross map is we took a Raptor camp, then maybe the gank worked out quite well as Dire takes a bear.
Yeah, but as you can see on the bottom of the screen, like even though they did lose 3-0 to G2, the games were close 51.4% of the time. So what closest percentage is it's the other team not having more than 51.5% of the game's total gold, which if you math it out is usually like a couple thousand ahead.
That sounds pretty close to me.
Yeah, and the graphs back it up. They were close that entire time, even having gold leads.
Their closeness percentage was within the closeness percentage mark.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool. By like 0.1%.
Is that like an infinite loop of closeness?
Probably.
It sounds really close to me. It's all right. BA taking a bit of damage here from Kellen, but just being frustrating as he's trying to get that wave to crash on forward. 100 gold the lead here for Team Secret Wales, so not too much of anything to report as far as that is concerned. But it does show that that first blood didn't really get them much of a lead and more mitigated the advantages that BNK already had put together.
And from the bot prio, you can see Raptor is just free hitting the Drake. So the first Drake is going to pretty easily go over to BNK Furex, which I understand you have problems saying D-Ray versus Dire.
Yep.
I have a hard time saying BNK Furex when the tri-code is BFX.
I know. See, isn't it? It took me 2 years. I'm so proud of myself for getting that one right most of the time.
Yeah, because they are BNK Furex.
Yes.
So of the 5 letters that they could be, they picked those 3.
Yeah.
Arbitrarily.
Yeah. It's not very nice of them, is it?
It's very rude.
We've had some conversations about this, but ultimately, it's their choice, and it's okay. It's just 3 letters. We'll deal with it. And Vikla is also going to deal with this Ahri being a little bit frustrating. Both of them trading some electricity here in this mid lane, as once again, Histo in the area.
Oh, Raptor revenge right here.
Oh, no. Stealing Raptors, man. Everyone knows that this is the way that you tilt him, and it's worked so far.
Yeah, timing really good on that one. Vikla didn't quite have ultimate up yet. Raptor also wasn't 100% sure that that was going to happen. Could have started red and gone to Raptors, but he wanted to try and full clear down, so it's gone. And Histo has a very small window that he was searching for a gank, knows that it's going to be too late, and has to back away.
Yeah, also keeps himself invisible, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they have an idea that he was there because he did just steal the Raptors. They definitely want to steal the other Raptors now. It's a Raptor fight.
It
is just about Raptors. It's clear. Throws down the Dominus here as Pun throwing some needles at the Crocodile. Does have to call the Meek in this wave just to make sure he's going to be okay, but I think that war of attrition was won by the Crocodile. We'll be able to get control of this wave and shove it forward. We'll see whether it's going to be first plate going his way. It's Chance Corruption sidestep there by Kellen. Swift footwork as there's Diablo going in with that arcane shift. Goodbye, and Eddie is just completely in no man's land. Diablo even had the Mystic shot ready for him, as BNK will get their first kill of the game, and it is on the player you don't really want to give all the kills to if you're a Team Secret Wales fan, as Vikla looking for Dire here as well. He does have the Spirit Rush, so he'll be all right. But still, this bear is getting scary.
Yeah. classic Viclani play. Just
yeah, it's a really good
use your
Viclangy.
ultimate whenever you
Why
can.
do I can only say Viclangy? I can't get my brain to do Viclani.
It's the Australian. I want to talk about the play we just saw, though, because all of this did end up happening because of the repeated pressure that Raptor is putting on the enemy Raptors. It means that Team Secret Whales always trying to defend the play. They were getting invaded in the jungle, and then once Eddie missed the ultimate, it gave Diablo the window that he could shift over the wall freely, and they could just have the numbers advantage against the Varus.
And I'm pretty sure he reacted to the flash with the Mystic Shot, but it was very, very close to being at about exactly the same time as that flash going out. So pretty impressive stuff. Histo going to be able to grab the first grub of the game here. Might actually look for a double, as there is Raptor making his way up. Steals that one away. Could be a fight for the third, but just getting one is normally what these players really care about. As Dire, throws out the ulti. Is there's the knock up, the flash from Raptor to turn this one around. Stun comes through onto the Annie, a cease and desist, and that's exactly what they want Raptor to do. Dire's going to be able to take him down in the end, and Clear is just getting kited, does find the stun, and takes out the Fox Lady, but he will pay for that with his life, at least after some blast cone shenanigans do come on forward. Does get a bunch of his health bar back, though. Why is Clear still alive? Okay, finally, he will be taken out. The Viclani not going to live, and it's a double kill going over to Pun.
And this is all because they had the numbers advantage. Eddie's paying for it on the other side of the map, by the way. Diablo's getting free plates. He's completely zoned off the wave, but that top fight was a 4v3. So I don't believe that BNK Furex expected BA to be there on the recon with the spell book. And I'm actually surprised after the original fight went 1-for-1 that they kept chasing through the jungle, because that ended up costing them a few extra kills.
Well, there is another plate that Diablo really wants to take here, but BA has made his way down towards this bottom side. He should be able to defend Eddie pretty comfortably standing over here, but it is going to be at least that plate going on over. So Diablo is very rich, but let's have a look at this fight, because he was not there for this.
Yeah, Diablo's going to be a problem. I mean, Raptor, very aggressive here, knowing his Annie's no ultimate, but knowing he has his Q3 up. They thought they could potentially one-shot D-Ray Atlas.
Thank you.
But then when the recon arrives, he's able to apply the extra shielding. And then Clear, I think if he just blast cones out towards Vikla, dashes away, goes back to base, he can TP back to his wave, shove it out. But instead, they decide to continue this all in. Part of this is, if they somehow win this fight, the game's over. Because they would have won a 3v4, and they would have zoned away the Varus on the bottom side. So I understand why you might greed for something like that, but it's still a huge play for Team Secret Whales.
Yeah, very big win. Does put them at about 400 gold in the lead, as we can see. And with the fact that it's the Gwen that has most of the money, that is the biggest deal, right? Riftmaker is now done. Like, Pun is going to be a huge problem in this game.
Yeah, and Pun's Gwen has been very good for him so far in this year. I know Raz had a nice play where he's very good at deploying in the right spots on the map on Gwen, especially when he has a small advantage like this. He has just burned teleport, though, as we have a fight for the Drake.
Yep, Crescent Guard does come out here as Raptor trying to keep himself alive. There is the Chains of Corruption coming on down. Diablo, decent arcane shift, but he's still just going to get ulted by the Vi. The charm comes in as well. The quickness working out so well, and Eddie is going to put him in the ground. Dire just dancing around the team fight, but it's Raptor that goes in, finds the knock-up with a 3-talent strike, and Eddie will be able to take him down, but not without the rest of his team falling. There is a Varus limping away, but once again, BNK, were they fighting a man down? Never mind. No, there at least wasn't Pun in that fight.
True 4v4.
So it was an even one. Yeah, we're okay.
Honorable scrap.
An honorable scrap indeed.
But we've got a bloodbath on our hands. It's already 11 kills by 12 minutes, and these teams are willing to fly in. Diablo's Ezreal with Flash Barrier thinks that he's going to be invincible, but there's an Ahri Vi. They can chase through both of the dashes, especially if you use one in.
Crazy.
It was insanity. He ends up kind of getting one shot on the tail end, but they do have to burn a lot through the barrier, through the Karma Shield, through the Karma Heal. It takes them a long time, and that gives Raptor time to kind of clutch it at the end of the fight. Nice job by Eddie there, stacking up and executing with the Varus Q to make it a trade. And the Dragon's still alive.
Well, we're going to go back to that one, see whether BNK can grab the double dragon from this one. We'll check out what the soul is going to be as Pun here up towards his top side of the map. Clear can just do nothing. lightning as the Gwen will cut him down. And Pun, we were saying he was going to be a problem. Well, he definitely is.
That is insane. You can see the Coinbase gold grind on the left there as well. Raptor will be getting the Drake, so a little bit of Drake stacking early, but this is how you got to compete if your team's Secret Wills. Get someone who's going to have a carry angle at the end, since the bot lane is completely gapped, in part thanks to the players, but also in part thanks to this Karma.
Yep.
So having the top side of the map is necessary in order to compete in this game.
I do think that Avaris will just generally be valuable, right, later on into the game. Obviously, if you fall behind, you're not going to be doing as much damage, but you can heal, deny, and you can also stun or snare with your Chains of Corruption. So there will be value. They won't have issues with damage when Pun is this massive.
No, I don't think so. I do think Kellen will probably build the Mikhails next, just in case Diablo does get caught by
Bear comes down, and Raptor looking for a way in. Let's see whether he can get it. Audacious charge onto Dire, but he gets himself out. They thought they'd caught Vikla, but Vikla says, I have a bear, and I have a jungler.
Yep, you just got to use that anti-ultimate as much as possible. Maximize its value. They're kind of down on pressure right here, but the RETP is going to be able to catch that wave top. It's so hard for them to deal with this Karma Ezreal.
Yeah, it really does just, it kind of feels at the moment in this mid game that BNK just have more members on the map, but there are more of TSW here towards his bottom side, and Vikla is very much dead. Tibbers is going to get mad, so they may not have the greatest of times taking down this turret, but that is more money to Pun. And that is dangerous. Charm does connect here onto Dire, but the knockup's there from Raptor as well. And he has no ult. He has to flash to get out of the way. The Audacious charge and win becomes lightning and becomes another kill for this Xin Zhao, who is also becoming a bit of a problem.
Damn. That looks broken.
What is Raptor even doing there? You know, like
Sundered Sky, red buff.
Now I'm understanding why there were Xin Zhao bans throughout the whole of yesterday.
Very understandable.
Yeah.
Inspired did get it in Game 5. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We get to see him fight another day. But Raptor kind of putting his mark on this game, because I think his toe is going where he should. He's going where they're strong. But it appears now that both the mid lane and the bot lane, wherever they are deployed on the map, the players on those characters are struggling. So BNK Furex taking a bit more of a lead here, breaking 3 outer turrets, also crashing the Rift Herald, puts him in a powerful position. He might have to flash out.
Yeah, he is immediately going to flash.
Hesitation.
I think not messing with Pun is a very good idea. And Raptor going to show him that respect, gets himself out the back of this grub pit. He's going to be, I believe, Vikla going home there, as Raptor realizes he's not allowed his Raptors.
It's just going to be so hard for Pun. He's going to be so strong, but it's going to be so hard for him to actually team fight against Karma Ezreal. I think that's going to be kind of the story of this game, because Pun should be able to run over the Xin and the Renekton once he gets Dusk and Dawn, but it'll just be about how much work Diablo and Kellen can do.
Well, Trisha Barrage is going to spot out that there are 3 people up here towards this top side of the map. It looks like Clear is just going to be able to clear out this wave, so TSW, they are trailing a little bit when it comes to gold, and I think that the way BNK has been playing around the macro movements here in this mid lane has just been, mid-game has been crisper than what we've been seeing from TSW, but they do have the win conditions. It has been put together. As now Vikla is just going to face check his toe and says, I'll stun you, and I guess it'll be fine. Pun now might be giving away a bit of money over to BNK, although never mind. The tower and the needlework doing absolutely enough to deter them from diving the Gwen.
Good little chunk they got. Were able to burn his Ignite. I was just laughing at Vic. I don't know why it was so funny, because it was actually fine. He was completely safe. There's no reason he shouldn't take that blast cone.
He blast cone high-fived Vi,
and it was
then
fine.
left.
There was, even if Vi is there, it's fine. So Vikla made the correct play. But
BA is, okay, that's every Mystic Shot landing, and almost collects it mid-battle dance, but BA is going to be able to get out of there with the quickness actually employed. And this is problematic. Do have a minute until this Infernal Drake does come up, and that is sole point here for BNK Furex.
Yeah, it's so difficult for them to enter space. And I also don't even know if they can safely trade an outer turret for a Drake, because this would actually be a situation where you would consider doing that unless, so if Pun can get enough gold to finish Dusk and Dawn, then I would want to TP in and fight, because the Serpent's Fang, Ghostblade is a pretty good spike for the Varus, and then everyone else is pretty equal in items. They could be stronger in that fight, but I feel like if they don't have an actual advantage, since they don't have the setup against a Karma Ezreal, they'll take way too much damage trying to enter the pit. So this would actually be, even if it's sole point, unless they have a very clear advantage somewhere, I don't think this is something that TSW should try and fight.
Well, Raptor is going to try and fight. Just whatever's in front of him. He's very strong. Pun up towards that top side of the map. He's just going to have free reign. Takes down this outer turret. It's clear we'll try and catch that wave when it does get towards him. Smart, though, of him not to enter that lane.
Does he have enough gold for the Dusk and Dawn after that turret? No. He's waiting.
Time ticking down. He's teleporting, and
he does.
He's got it.
Okay, let's see a fight. Let's see a fight.
Well, he's just going to teleport right on top of Vikla here as well. We'll see whether the Molten Shield movement speed's going to be enough. And with that Blast Cone, I think that it may not be, as the Drake already started here. Raptor's going to take that one down, and into the mist he goes. Histo trying to get himself out of there as the quickness does tie up a whole bunch of B&K in that backline. And somehow Histo will survive. Eddie looking to try and get himself out of there, though. And the Gwen was not quite big enough, ladies and gentlemen. B&K will take everything in the exchange.
Wow, that fight was on really slim margins.
Yeah.
BNK Fearex played that so fast. By the time we panned up to the Drake, it was already dead. The fraction of an inch with which Histo missed the Q onto Vikla that didn't allow him to get one shot, I think almost baited Pun to then follow through. He'd already invested his TP. He thought he had the power spike, so they really wanted to fight, but they couldn't get through to the Gwen to actually support him because Pun was basically probably 3v1, 4v1 on the top side of this fight. Watching the start once again, doesn't connect the Q. That gives Vikla time to flash away. And then look, Varus, Rakan, Ahri, way too far away at the start of this fight, really leaving Pun 1.5 before.
Yeah, and also Histo had to use his ultimate on a Renekton so he could flash away.
Yeah.
And I think that cease and desist is so incredibly important in these team fights. You saw BA get into that backline. He chummed up absolutely everyone. I thought that the setup was there, that Histo was just a little bit too low to actually commit to anything, and therefore it didn't look as good as it could have.
Another TP.
Yeah. Clear, gonna have to slice and dice his way out. The needlework not quite finding the mark there as the grand entrance also goes wide. Clear, good footwork, but I think he should still be going down. Finds another slice, and the tick of the burn will be enough. So the Crocodile is now down, and now Raptor should be falling as well. Kellen trying to take his toe for a walk as Vikla will finally join this fight, but it's not enough damage. Diablo, he wants to be the one to be the hero here, as of course he's arcane shifting forward, but it's a couple of good kills here for Team Secret Whales.
And they end up getting the Diablo flash, which I think is really crucial. That's why he was playing so aggressively in the back end of that fight. That was very nearly, if they get one more kill, I think they go for Baron and can actually start pulling ahead in this game, but it just ends up being a rather effective counterpunch.
Yep. It was nicely done, and Clear is sitting at 4 deaths as well. This Renekton has not been having a great time, and that is another kill going over to Pun as well. So definitely good news there. Gonna have a look at how it all started.
Really good flank TP. I think the fight could have been a little bit cleaner, but another Vi punch barely misses. Watch this, whoop, right past Clear. I thought that Ignite wasn't gonna tick, and it could end up being a tragic
I think it was the last tick.
But I mean, looking at where Vikla TP'd into way up there in the top lane, he's not able to join the fight until this moment. So it ended up being a pretty big numbers advantage for the majority of the fight for TSW. And Atlas, this game reminds me of day one of First Stand was one of the bloodiest days we've ever had.
Yeah.
It's because these two teams were playing. Like, it's because BFX was playing BLG and TSW was playing G2. I feel like these are the two common denominators for the bloodiness. They're the ones that just fight all the time.
And I feel like G2 is very happy to get down and scrap as well. If you do start it, and BLG need no introduction on that point as well.
This is the fighting group for sure.
It certainly is. And this is actually one of my favorite things about these two teams, because I feel like Team Secret Whales play a lot like how B&K used to. Right? This group of players came together last year, and of course they were exceptionally young. Diablo still the youngest player here, right? But he was playing for an entire year before this, and that was where they built all of their synergy. But at that point, they were very like, let's fight over every single scuttle, you know? Like, let's make sure that if there are 3 people in an area, they're fighting. Like, that's what we have to do. Since then, the macro has certainly improved. They've been playing on tempo markers a lot more, but it just feels like a bit of a blast from the past with the way that Team Secret Whales plays the game.
Tempo markers just sounds like a smart thing to say.
It sounds fun, doesn't it? It's the first time I've used it. I'm glad you called it out because I'd like to talk about it more because I kind of like it. It's all right, Pun. Trying to look for a way in, but he gets slowed down. Clear on that backline as well. Taking a lot of damage, but it's Diablo that's free hitting in this fight. And the mist had to wear off at some point. DRA looks for the point-blank charm, but it's not enough to actually take down this Ezreal. And it's Raptor that finishes a whole bunch of these kills. 3 on the floor here for Team Secret Whales, and could it just mean that it's Baron time for B&K?
It's a tempo marker. 3 of them are dead. Go for the Baron. They're doing the right thing.
Now I'm embarrassed by the tempo. Why do all of my weird things I come up with start with tempo, man?
I think it's a good name. Either way, Raptor is just a beast this game. It feels like every time you look up, he's got the Zen ult running, killing someone, and he's at full health in a team fight. This did look like a bit of a desperation fight because Team Secret Whales is always trying to retake the space. They're never getting a clean engage onto Diablo or Kellen, so they're always starting these fights on Renekton and Raptor. And sure, they can do all the damage to Raptor, but that means Diablo's been free hitting for the majority of the fight. And even though D-Ray goes all in, it's just not enough. Unless they're going in together, they're never going to take this Ezreal down, and then the extended fight's always going to go to BFX.
And the flash point-blank charm was Captain Jack cleansed by Kellen in that fight. That was crazy. I looked down, I'm like, wow, nice cleanse, Diablo, but no, he has barrier. It's just all Kellen, man. He's so good at taking care of the young man on that bottom side of the map who has now 3 items put together on this Ezreal. And yeah, this is Infernal Soul.
It's time to send it. They're going to send it.
All right, let's see whether Pun can keep himself alive. Already down to 50% health as the range advantage here is working out. Raptor feeling a little bit unperturbed. It's cease and desist. They do try and get into that backline, but already the Gwen is dead. Diablo stays alive for such a long time, and this time Clear is getting some revenge because he's not the first one focused. The Ezreal is going to be their prize, but unfortunately, everyone else just kind of dies.
Yeah, you knew this was a situation where they had to send it. There is the priceless moment, the Infernal Soul for BNK FearX. I think that's the end of the game, Atlas.
I think it might be. They are missing a bit of damage as far as these turrets are concerned because Diablo did die, but I have a feeling that they may have enough. DRA will find a lot of damage on towards Kellen, but BNK splitting the damage here to make sure that they can just get as much as they can. I don't think they feel like winning at exactly this point, although DRA, he is certainly going to die. Wind becomes lightning, and Raptor's going to be able to take that one down. And I feel like we missed out on this Raptor yesterday, or the day before yesterday, right? We haven't seen the guy that really got them here throughout the LCK Cup. I think he had a bit of a muted experience against BLG. This is what we've come to expect from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, at this point, stat padding exercise with the amount of engage they have, how difficult it is for TSW to get onto Diablo, which we see right here. They do get onto him, but look at this. The Gwen dies before they even get the CC onto Diablo. And by the time he's dead, Eddie, his toe, it's literally just the Ahri.
They needed to
and the
save
Rakan
some
that are
kitchen
alive.
sink to throw at the rest of BNK. But unfortunately, they were a bit tired after throwing that one at Diablo.
I don't think there's really anything they could have done. If you don't kill Diablo, he kills you.
Yeah.
If you go all in for Diablo, then
would you say that
it's
the rock and the hard place?
Yeah.
That's where you're between that type situation. We've overused that quite a lot.
the rock.
Oh, they may just be able to kill Clear, though. That's finding a different way to go. He gets exhausted as well as the rest of BNK trying to make their way in. And Raptor, he is going to be able to slow down BA. Oh, back in once again, the Raptors! Raptors kills BA! Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful story as Eddie is also going to be taken down here. They take down his blast cone at the same time, and BNK, they will turn a loss of their Crocodile, as I think has been a bit of a thing throughout this game, into more winning, as the inhibitor in the mid lane is the first to go down, and the inhibitor turret on the top side is also going to leave the rift. And BNK, I don't think they're in much of a rush, but this is certainly feeling like some drain circling that they have begun.
Yep, 4v3, no bot lane for TSW. Let's see if they can do it.
Yep, see whether they can take this one down. This time they do have Diablo, who does do a lot of damage to these structures as Raptor's going in once again. Crescent Guard comes down. True Shot Barrage does so much work here as Pun just pops like a balloon, and the flash forward from Raptor. He's tanking up both Nexus turrets at the same time. It's Diablo. Arcade shifting into the fountain. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what this young man wants to be doing. And it's a quadra. Can he get the pentakill? He can, the penta on the fountain. As it is going to be the Nexus going down. That's a nice little victory lap for the young man, as the Nexus will fall and BNK FearX go up 1-0 in the series.
Two pentas
in his first two series, yeah.
Oh my God. Player of the game for me.
What if you're losing for every single Drake?
Barely, though.
Ah, it's about how much you're losing.
If there's tension before every Drake fight, that's not a stop.
All right, well, let's see whether Team Secret Whales can actually pick up some victories in some of these fights and see what champions they're going to bring to them as well as we dive into the champ select here. As we do have an Ashe and a Lulu both banned away here already. And on the side of BNK actually taking away his Toes Jarvan, I think that makes a whole lot of sense.
It does.
And Dire not going to be playing his Akali this time either.
His Toes Jarvan's insane, but I still feel like if a team's going to pick Jarvan early, I think it's very easy to play against it. I just think there's enough mobility. Like if you have a...
I think it cuts down so many 80 carries. I think it makes picking for bottom lane difficult.
With Ezreal already down... and with a Lulu ban, I got you. Because I'm happy to play Ezreal or Yunara into Jarvan.
Yeah, I think if you're going to like... And I think Lucian is also another good one. It depends where the Jarvan is picked.
Agreed.
There is an opportunity to pick it as far as like a 1-2 on second pick. As the Orianna is going to be locked away. BNK going to be claiming that one for themselves. This is very scary unless... TSW are going to be able to pick away a Nocturne, something like that. Orianna Nocturne, though, is very frightening, and Raptor has already showed that he's very happy to bring out the Nocturne.
Yeah, I mean, you could just go something like Nocturne Galio, Nocturne Azir right away if you wanted to stop the Knock Wave combo.
The
I wouldn't
Knock
mind
Wave?
it.
Did you call it Knock Wave?
Knock Wave, it's good, right?
Knock Wave is really good.
Yeah.
That's much better than the Annie one, the Clanny.
Yeah, I can't take credit for it. It might have been Azael who started it.
But wouldn't it be Parawave?
What is Parawave?
Paranoia Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Because it's not Nocturne. Nocturne's not the ability.
Yeah,
it's
but you put it on. It's whoever you put on.
Parawave. We're gonna go with Parawave. That's
what
I want to lock in.
Worse.
I know, but that's the whole point.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty bad ones. I've got production in me that's saying that it was all. Yeah, it's
we
also
have
terrible.
Parawave and we have tempo.
Tempo markers?
Tempo markers.
Yeah,
I'd already forgotten. Tempo signs. It's just tempo.
Yeah, it's just tempo.
It's not a marker.
Much like a lot of things that have been coined in the past, it is just tempo.
No, but I like it. Whoever you put the wave on is what is
ball.
The thing.
It's a ball, not a wave.
It's the knock wave. Yeah, okay. So Amba wave, if you put it on Ambessa.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it works with everyone.
the public wave.
The not a wave.
The public wave. I like public wave a lot. Public wave is very good. It's kind of broken my brain. All right, we do have a Nautilus, though, that has been locked away. This one was banned relatively early in the last series as well, so Pierre going to grab that one. And now Pun, thinking about the bear.
This is the angle into Ambessa. Yes, top lane, Volibear.
All right.
Let's go.
So this is something that he's been known for. It did get banned away in the previous series as well. So a little bit of fun to be had on the Rift. However, this top side from BNK is very scary. Like this is very, very scary.
I mean, yeah. I don't like the draft on the left side. It's
wait, imagine if it's jungle Nautilus. Raptors played that already this year.
Then it's even worse. It's the slowest clearing in the game. So just to see what he actually does on his Volibear. So he's been very successful with it throughout the year. It's not like an AP Volibear. It's more of just like a bruiser grasp Volibear. So he starts tier. He'll usually go Unending Despair and Winter's Embrace early on. Later in the game, he might go for Leandry's, but it's just like a W-Max brawling build that he's going to try and
a little bit more tanky, a little bit less of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little sad, but probably better for winning the game. That means that they're not representing a whole lot of damage here. So we're going to need Eddie to be playing something a little bit hyper carry-esque towards that bottom side of the map. And already, we've got a couple of those possibly being banned away here. Zaya already taken off the board. The Kai'Sa as well, not going to be allowed. But Yunara also taken away from Eddie. So what is he going to be playing? That's going to be the question here.
I really wish they wouldn't have banned the Kai'Sa because Kai'Sa Nautilus is a great pair and it's something that they would, like it's a good way to fight when you have so many melee engagers. But Corki also just a generically strong champion, has a very critical Valkyrie to try and get away from the Nocturne or the Orianna or the Knockwave combo. If the Knockwave times it properly, you're dead anyway. But if they're not perfect, the Valkyrie can be very effective.
Well, let's see what this last pick is going to be. Likely heading towards the jungle for TSW. But before that, Diablo and Kellen. Oh, this would be a better angle
Is this the
for
Ego
the
pick?
Renata.
Kalista Renata now
Yep.
into all the bruiser boys.
Yeah, there's a lot of short range, big guys that really want to try and get on top of you in short range. That is when you pick Renata. Kellen has done a little bit of research, went home, was like, why did my Renata not work in that first game? As Neferi is going to be locked in. I like this, add a little bit more damage, right?
I mean, yep. I think it works well. I'm not a huge fan, again,
you don't
of
look
the comp
very
on
sold.
the left.
I'm not going to lie, you don't look very sold.
So listen, I'm not.
No. I do think that, yeah, we were talking about the nameplates off type situation, and if nameplates are off, like this B&K composition is revolting.
Which is weird, though, because the Kalista Renata, a lot of people are really down on International Kalista because the games were going too long and they were like weren't bloody enough for the skirmishes. But I feel like in this group, in this series, it's a perfect pick because we know these teams will literally fight non-stop.
Yeah, and it's Diablo. Like this is what he does. The last person that we saw pick up like the largest amount of kills in a single game was Pays, actually playing Kalista like a couple of years ago.
Oh right, it was 20.
Was it MSI a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was an insane amount of kills.
It was kind of like, it was 27 or something like that. I think that's what the style of Kalista that Diablo's looking to play here today. And that one is not something that is going to get outscaled if they do get out of control. But they have to get there, right? And Team Secret Whales, they have a lot of comfort, and they have, you know, there's a lot of trickiness to a composition like this. Also, Global can really help if you are struggling to identify the tempo of your opposition, right? If you are struggling to get control of the map, you can kind of just cheat it by roaming towards the side lane in the blink of an eye. But let's do it. Let's dive into game number 2. See whether there's going to be any early game shenanigans.
So a tempo marker would be, if Galio's not in lane, that's a marker that you don't have tempo.
Yeah. Or wait, well, it's more just about wave manipulation and control. It's literally just tempo, Jad. There's nothing special about it. I just put marker at the end of the sentence for no reason at all.
I actually like it, so I'm gonna make it a thing. Because we were talking off camera, like the tempo marker can be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like the marker of having more people than the opponent with your waves pushed, that's a marker to do stuff.
Yeah, it's an identification of whose turn it is in League of Legends.
I'm not making fun of you. I think it's,
I'm making fun of me because I think it's
silly. It sounds like
silly.
a smart thing to say. Because
it was one of those things where my brain wasn't really knowing what word was going to happen next, and then I surprised myself with that one. And I don't know how I feel about it. As Clear and Pun just going to be bashing one another here towards this top side. I'm not entirely sure how this matchup goes, Jad, because I haven't seen very much of it.
I feel like Volibear can probably beat anyone. That champion is so goofy.
He is very goofy.
When you have this like I know he's not doing the crazy jungle build, which is like the Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
But when a jungler can be on like medium income and then just easily 1v1 every champion in the game, like there's something about that kit that is
must be pretty good. Yeah. Let's see whether it's going to work through the top lane. Right now, working very effectively as far as the CS numbers are concerned. Vikla as well having a pretty good time in this mid lane. And Vikla hasn't been allowed to play Orianna for quite some time, right? This is one of the champions that he has shown a fair bit of comfort on, but also Orianna is just kind of nutty at this point in time.
Yeah,
she's been nerfed a little bit on this patch, right?
She has been.
But it was like, I don't know, early cooldown on your Q or something like that. It's not really end of the world.
Yeah, you and me were talking about this earlier. I've read patch notes every 2 weeks for 16 years, so I don't remember what they actually are anymore. I just know, like, a number has gone down.
Yeah.
But what it was, like, was it the E cooldown?
Do you know the only reason why I know it was the Q cooldown is because Ox was talking to me in the bus.
And he said the Q cooldown increased?
He was reading it, yeah. But it's the same at level 5, so like,
okay,
you know,
the
really,
first
it only
two
affects,
ranks of Q.
It only
so
really affects
one
you
level,
in lane.
Vikla is fine.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's probably already fine because he's laning into a Galio.
Yeah, which is not for the faint of heart. I've seen really good Galios able to win this matchup, but it usually is going to be Orianna favored.
Should be. I mean, Orianna is just generally pretty good at controlling the wave, so I think Vikla should be fine. As Histo, looking like a beautiful hot dog. Love this skin. He's going to be getting some vision, looking to go back home. Raptor going to be taking a crab and heading home himself. And all seems a little quiet on
Nocturne
Summer's
pretty
Rift.
happy about this as well, getting the full clear take for Scuttle. Neither of these junglers did a Raptor start for an earlier Raptor respawn, which would then make us think that we'd have a Raptor fight. They both did like the standard full clear. Nice hook for there as well. Eddie getting some good damage down.
Yeah. Diablo down 300 health. 300 health, I should say. Has to drink that potion. So with the fact that this is a Nautilus lane into Renata, that's really nicely played. As Taunt is going to pull back Vikla here, but taunting an Orianna ain't great because your Clockwork windup gets extra value.
He's got no mana.
Well, let's see whether DRA can do something about that.
Yeah, DRA's going to have to worry a little bit. I think one more wave if he can shove in. I want him to actually take another reset pretty soon. So he's going to be fine in this wave. As the Galio, you're really just shoving and resetting as much as possible, hoping to not get fatal damage. Eddie and BA are good laners.
They are.
Eddie's biggest mistake, to me at least, was just getting caught out of position too often in team fights.
And it's not like the last game was Eddie's fault that they were losing the lane either. It's Ezreal Karma. Like that is, if played well, that is a very, very difficult lane to lose. Even though we have seen it lose.
Eddie reminds me of another AD carry that I used to work with.
Clear. The flash and first blood in a solo kill. Here for Clear in the top lane, returning the favor.
Wow. And he hits level 6 first, just goes all in. The Volibear, I believe, was sitting on a tier just too far up in the lane at the time. It looked like it might have been pushing back. I'd have to check again to see if he was trying to just clear the wave to reset and come back, since he was waiting. Like he did have his teleport up.
I was checking to see whether it was like he was wanting to hit level 6 and then win, but he's nowhere near. So it's not like he was clearing the wave in order to get the level. It was just a little bit too far up.
Yeah, I think he might have... The wave may have been getting frozen on him, so he really wanted to break the freeze before resetting and just overstayed a little bit. That's why these solo kills can look a little goofy sometimes.
Well, speaking of looking a little goofy sometimes, this is now Clear in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no flash on Clear.
Isto is looking to go back home though, so it's not going to be the gank actually being taken. And in the meantime, Raptor is just killing dragons. He has killed a lot of dragons so far. That's 5 in a row so far this series for anyone that's counting.
He's 6.
We'll just have to see.
Health.
Is the Para Wave going to be utilized? That is the question.
Yeah, maybe not.
No, you don't think so? Okay.
No. I think he was just waiting for Crab. That's why he was sweeping. There could be a fight. It's going to be a wave, not a para wave.
Well, let's see whether it actually happens.
It's a paranoia, not a
paranoia. The wave doesn't exist unless Orianna presses.
Is he just going to kill him again?
That might be what's happening, Jat, as he does at least get himself the shield, and now it's Clear that's in trouble. He has a couple of buttons back up again, though, and gets the shield from the passive, but I have a feeling unless Pun cannot get up to him, oh no, the dashes, oh no, the release date, it is still going to be, oh, never mind, this is taking so incredibly long. Can Clear? No, he cannot. Pun is just going to put him down. So back-to-back solo kills, 1 each in the top lane.
That's the Volibear. When you get enough points in your W, your sustained healing is just goofy. And that's why you play picks like this that the enemy's not used to. Because even if you get the first solo kill, Pun's going to know the limits way better than Clear is. And he's able to get the solo kill back and a 500 gold lead for himself.
I was wondering whether Clear had actually bought since then, but he had, so it's not really going to be like he comes back with way more money after this either. Having a look towards the bottom side of the map, it is a little bit of an advantage for Diablo, but not too much of anything. And I think Nautilus getting a free way through the lane is absolutely fine here in the bottom side.
I feel like not as impressive of a laning phase for Diablo as Histo's looking for a wraparound gank, but it's probably just going to lead to them walking away. Good awareness.
Yep.
They had the tempo marker.
Yep, beautifully done.
Away.
Sometimes you have to really utilize those tempo markers,
the marker.
As Raptor is just going to clear out some vision. That is not a tempo marker. That is just a ward.
Yeah.
And Histo, happy feeding momentarily.
I mean, Nafuri's going to be one of the best champions against the knock wave because you can just immune it.
Yeah, I think Nafuri's pretty good against a lot of things because you just don't care about.
Just disappear for a second and a half.
Telegraphed abilities, not something that the doggo really minds about. Is oh dear. Raptor's smites, by the way, have been absolutely revolting. Part of the reason why they are here today is because Raptor took almost everything from Owner in their series against T1.
Okay, revolting in a good way.
In a good, positive revolting, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Understood.
It's sort of like unfair levels of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been quite good at pressing the smite button. And it's Clear up here towards the top side of the map, just going to be clearing things out. And 80 to 59
Yeah.
That is not too bad.
Pun's going to have his ult up soon as well, and he hasn't even completed his first item, so the Volibear is off and running at least.
Certainly
Kalista Renata hasn't been as dominant as we would have thought, as Pun is just, he might be thinking about a dive. He's gotten a Fury on the way, and Galio is shadowing.
Well, he's just going to ult in. There's a public execution from Clear just to try and keep himself alive as the turret does get a little bit mad eventually. Sheesh. But like, this, it doesn't even matter. He even electrocutes him so he can't actually go back as the ulti comes through from Isto. He is going to be able to go untargetable. There is the flash to try and get him in there, but unfortunately, yeah, 1-for-1 is not really what they were looking for. Still, this entire wave is going to go, and so a big win still for TSW, despite the fact that it looked a little bit like it could have been better.
I don't know, Vicla's cleaning up that mid wave. That's going to put D-Ray so far behind. Because D-Ray went, first off, he was in River, then he thought about resetting, then he ulted, then he had to reset. So he lost about 2 waves in that whole exchange. Really going to hurt him in that 1v1 matchup.
But in the top lane, really good news for Pun. That's about it. As B8 will get handshook here as the Fate's Call does come on down. Diablo, can he actually get enough autos as Eddie is just free hitting at this point in time? BA goes back in once again as Kellen realizing that he might actually have to bail himself out. And Diablo realizes that he's just going to have to get out of there to flash forward, but hits a minion, the handshake! So clutch out of Kellen, but that is just to keep them alive in this bottom lane. As Raptor coming on down and will be able to stand out of the way of the taunt, gets the fear on to this Galio, but he's tanky enough to keep himself alive.
This is one of the fastest paced 2-2 games I've had.
I know, right? There's so much fighting, but not a lot of killing.
I've been meaning to talk about Diablo for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you've been queuing that one up.
I have been. He's the youngest player at first stand, and we have this picture from 2021 where he said he started playing League of Legends, which should immediately make anyone who's not his age feel old.
Yeah, that's like,
what happens.
It's like the middle of COVID.
I started playing League in 2011.
Yeah, me
10
too.
years before this photo was taken.
Did you play after beta?
Pre-beta.
Pre-beta was 2011?
Not pre-beta. I
that
played
was
in
2010.
Beta. I played in beta.
Yeah. But that was 2010.
Was it? Then I lost track of time.
It's been
Atlas,
16
thanks.
years, Jet.
I appreciate
Quite
it.
some time there.
Yeah, he also had a great international debut, getting the pentakill against BLG, getting the pentakill against TSW as well.
Yeah.
Not even winning player of the game for the second pentakill. So he's 18 with 2 pentas, and people are already over it.
Yeah.
They already think it was the jungler who did more.
He's also the second player to get 2 pentas in a single Riot International
I was
event.
at that Worlds.
Yeah, him being the first in 2014 is crazy. And we all, like, I was about to say we all remember how dominant Samsung White were, but maybe not all of us, because that was 12 years ago. But still, Clear is taking a bit of damage here towards his top side. But still, I mean, so impressive from this young man.
Yeah, he's insane. And also, once I saw the Raptor did 30,000 damage, he's your player of the game.
Is Clear just dead again? No?
Did you know how old Diablo was when it...
Oh my God. Flash from Pun! His own wrecker wears off, but he doesn't seem to care.
Pun is crushing it. I can't wait to see if he can continue pulling this off in the rest of the game. But no, I need to mention this. Diablo was 4 years old when Imp got his 2 pentas at Worlds.
Oh God, don't say things like that to me, Jad.
That's incredible.
I was feeling old enough already.
It's the next generation, truly this time.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've got quite a few of those. These young players, these young prodigies coming up in the LCK and around the world. I mean, we're going to see Honku again soon. That's going to be a whole lot of fun as Paranoia comes down towards his bottom side. Do we have a wave to put with it? We do, but it doesn't really do too much. As now they're going to turn their attention to Raptor. The knockup is good, as his toe does have to go untargetable. Kellen does have to bail himself out, and I don't think they really wanted to do that. The flash from Diablo avoids getting taunted, but he's going the wrong direction. The sticks get pulled out of Eddie, but he survives. The knockup comes in, and D-Ray going to have to get himself out of there, and he does so. Still, the Corki will go down. He's doing a lot of trouble as, man, this fight is going forever. Raptor somehow survives as well, and Clear at full health. Pun is the problem, and he's going to kill Vikla, but this was way closer than it had any right to be.
An extended 3v3, I think, because Renata died at the start and has now respawned. The fans. The fans win this fight, Atlas.
I love that. When you don't actually want to analyze, you just say the fans.
The fans win.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, you're going to have to analyze now, because it's the replay.
Yeah, I mean, where did the wave go?
Yeah, it sort of just died, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he pressed it early because it didn't do anything to Eddie as it landed, and therefore the fight ends up being messy.
Does he have a verdant barrier? Did he buy one of those?
That's crazy. I don't think so.
I imagine not.
Yeah. because it looked like it was going to land properly, but then at the very end of the fight, Pun does arrive, but it is quite late. No one's going to do damage to him, so BNK Furex just start frantically chasing around the others. D-Ray dies, Histo dies, but then Pun can finish off Vikla at the very end with his E.
Yeah, Vikla also putting down the dissonance and says, "Clear, save yourself," as he runs into the enemy jungle. Pun is a massive problem, and a massive bear, but mostly a problem here for BNK. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to solve it. Look at the role quest, by the way. Just before the jungle quest was finished, it was literally Pun and no one else, and then BNK, everyone else, and not Clear that had completed their quests. So it just does kind of paint a picture to how things have been going in both games 1 and 2, actually.
They
See
still
whether Pun
haven't
is going
gotten
to be
a
enough to hard
dragon,
carry.
so they're going to maybe try and get their first dragon of the series. Histo might kill him here.
Yeah, Clear is in a lot of trouble. The bleed is still ticking down as well as he goes underneath that turret. Public execution ain't going to avoid that one. And Histo just kills Clear. Clear not exactly having the greatest of tournaments thus far, but the dragon is going to lose interest, and they're going to have to restart their attempts on that one. No teleport to get this Ambessa back into the fight as well after these 20 seconds are up. So he is running.
Yeah, but Flash Ult are already down on the Nefiri, and Vikla is making his way through the mid lane to make this even numbers, unless Galio's willing to TP down. So BFX still thinking about this Drake.
Heroic entrance not quite available yet either. But I do think that not having the ulti from the Nefiri going to be a big problem. So it is going to be BNK continuing their monopoly on the Dragons, make that one 6 in a row. And the Soul is going to be an Ocean. So not exactly the most pivotal of Dragon Souls, but I imagine an Ocean Soul Volley Bear
would be good.
That's you were saying things were wacky. It's pretty wacky.
It would get even wackier. But they're very far away from that.
Yes,
they're
true.
down 6 dragons to 0 on the
Ocean Soul, 4 Ocean Drake Ocean Soul, which is that's the wackiest.
But we're so far away from it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I got time. We do. I'm not expected to be anywhere else.
I personally have all day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I would love 5 games.
And it's a lot earlier. Things start a lot earlier here at First Den. So we do theoretically just have, like, the day is indeed young. Well, Shelly, she is as well, but she is going to be taken down. Looks like Pun and Histo should be able to just secure this, unless Raptor has that smite button sorted out once again. Teleport comes in from Vikla as the lights are turned out. Let's see whether they can secure it. There is the Rift Herald going over to TSW, but can they keep themselves alive as Pun gets knocked up with a Fate's Call? But my God, the health! It's just not moving! Shockwave connects onto 3 as finally the bear will go down, but they've had to use so much. Finally, Clear turns up, and he might be able to get this one done, and somehow Diablo lives. Heroic entrance comes on down, and Histo will finally finish off this Callista. As Clear, I don't know whether this is quite going to be enough, but he does have an orb and a dream as D-Ray will be going down. And the Rift Herald should serve as an escape here for Histo to get himself out. I thought he was going to have the audacity to go for a turret charge, but he decides to play it safe by the water.
He didn't let the intrusive voices win. He's like, I will not get these plates.
The value.
The gold of the Herald.
I would have definitely allowed it, you know? I would not have given him a hard time if that's what he decided to do.
This game is so much like Game 1 Atlas.
Yeah.
Where they're narrowly losing and every fight still has tension, but it doesn't feel like TSW has a chance of winning. And part of it is like decisions like this. They technically had the ability to hard force the Drake, but they instead decide to have this fight around the Rift Herald. And Pun is still incredibly strong. It takes them forever to get him down, but Diablo does stack enough spears into him that after the shockwave, he's able to get the execute. And then I'd say around the top side of this fight, watch Diablo kiting Histo here at the end. It almost looked like he was going to get away, but Nefiri does have infinite dashes as well. So he was able to finish him off. And then the backside of the fight ends up getting a little bit messy, but I think Team Secret Worlds realize they have to bail, and that's why Histo drops the Herald and takes his ride out.
Yeah. So he's just going to escape as we are fighting once again, as you would expect, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Eddie just going to Valkyrie his way out, and BA will be fine. So never mind. It is all just going to be okay.
Yeah. Last game was 1.4 combined kills per minute. This game only had 4 kills at 10 minutes, and now is already up above 1 combined kill per minute.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
And we're already 2 minutes away from the next
we were talking about 2 and 2. Like, they were still fighting, even though there weren't even that many kills in the earlier stages.
The tempo markers in this game, in order for them to opt into so many fights, there must be so many tempo markers.
Oh, there's a lot of tempo markers. Yeah. I mean, in League of Legends, you could basically just invent tempo markers all over the place because it's not actually a real thing, Jad. That's the best thing about it. is it can be what you want it to be. As Pun, he can also just be anything in this game because he is certainly the strongest. It's just an issue when the rest of your team are not.
Taking damage under turret, but Frozen Heart into Thimblewinter. He's not actually doing damage anymore. He's just living and healing, which is effective in itself, but they will need damage at some point.
Public Execution comes down, and he's going to try and get himself out of there with the ulti, but the fear is going to come through, and Raptor able to lock down the bear. BA is going to show up, though, as Diablo. Oh, dear. He's here as well, so that should mean that Team Secret Whales are not really going to be having a good time. However, Diablo hasn't killed him just yet. Dances past the ward, finds the Renset, and that is going to be BA going down. It wasn't a Renset, it was just a Ren for the slow, and then he did kill him.
Really clean play here by Diablo, and he's just heating up. Blade of the Rune King, Rage Blade on the way, so he's going to be able to kill this Volibear eventually. Like, he'll get 100 spears in this guy and be willing to rend him if these fights go on long enough.
If Pun gets tanky enough, I mean, Kalista is one of the not good tank busters. You know? Not as good.
Yeah, it's no Vayne. Yeah. But I feel like with Bork Rage Blade, you can get there as they wait in the darkness and manage to burst him down before he can get his W's resetting. And then with the roam up from the Kalista Renata, it really just ends this fight. So,
and the fact that Clear survived as well is really rough because Histo got so close to killing him.
Yeah, and Histo is the one that needs to bring the damage when you have this super bruisery Volibear trying to buy space for you and keeping the waves pushed. But we're 10 seconds until this next Drake, and I don't necessarily think like BNK Furex's Drake setups have been so good. They already have mid lane push, they already have bot lane push, but Histo's in the back of the pit hoping to contest this one.
Yeah, blue side Ocean Rift is actually kind of cool if you can get over that wall comfortably, and obviously an Neferi certainly can, so they have that control ward in the back of the pit, so they do know that this Drake has been started up. As the bear is going to get into the Thunderdome and is going to make it just that, as he is a lightning bear. Raptor gets himself a spell shield, and Raptor going down so low, and he's just dead. Hostile Takeover does nothing at all. As the flash from Pun, they get the heroic entrance with the public execution. The flash out from Diablo as Eddie takes matters into his own hands. Diablo gets the barrier. Does he have enough sticks? That's the question. He gets the reset with the bailout. Histo goes up into the sky, and Diablo will finally die. But the team fight belongs to BNK. This young man is a psychopath.
How did he live for so long? The Renata made it absolutely goofy. I think a Renata E-Shield came in at the very end, which let him kill yet another person, because the start of this fight is about as good as it could possibly be for Team Secret Whales. They can get so much damage onto Raptor right away, pretty much burning through his spell shield easily with that Neferi Q, and then they're kind of out of there as well. Another really sneaky play here as the Galliol comes in and Diablo has to bounce off the back, but now watch Diablo versus Eddie and everybody else. Burns through his barrier. The Renata W comes through at the perfect time.
Kellen just sprinting like an ambulance through traffic, man, and gets over there and saves the young man's life. Understandable that there's some frustration here on the Team Secret Whales side, because like you were saying, so many things went right in that last fight, but ultimately it does mean 7 in a row as far as the Drakes are concerned for BNK, 3 in this game, and that does mean Soul Point as they look to go over towards Baron as well.
And they kill it so fast. Diablo's with his Rage Blade
and they secure it pretty comfortably, don't they?
Is going to be able to, I mean, with 1400 damage smite, I'd say it's actually kind of tricky to rend the Drake, but they're just hoping to get a TP out, and they get the TP from Galio and move away.
All right. So not going to be a take of the Baron just yet, but it is still a 4.8k gold lead. BNK, it doesn't feel like they've crushed every single team fight completely, right? There's been a lot of trades back and forth. It hasn't felt like it's been an absolute slaughter, but the result is still the same. It's still a 5,000 gold lead here at 22 minutes into the game, and they have a monopoly on every single objective on the map. They've just been running Team Secret Whales around to exactly where they want to be.
And we haven't really talked about Vikla, but he's 4,000 gold ahead of D-Ray. I don't necessarily feel like, and I'm sorry, Vikla, I'm not just hating on you. I don't feel like he's done a huge amount to get the lead.
I mean, it's an Orianna type situation. Unless you have like the Faker moment, it's not really going to
The early
be
roam from D-Ray, where he ended up ulting under the turret for 0 kills, 0 assists, lost 2 plates and 2 waves to the Orianna, set him behind. He hasn't been able to play in side lanes at all. He's been sucked into every team fight and died in so many of them. So this is more so a super starved Galio than necessarily a super fed Orianna, which is why that goal difference is so big. But it doesn't change the fact that Vicla's way bigger than Galio in terms of fight impact in these fights. And really, TSW's kind of trying to, like, there's only two people that really do damage with the Nefiri and the Corki, and the Galio isn't offering anything.
And the problem is in the neutral game, when there's not just crazy fighting going on, they just naturally lose.
Well,
so they're going to start a fight here. Kellen going to get taunted up and should be going down here. Hostile take, oh, never mind. Fate's Call is going to pull him out. And is he going to go back in? That's the question as he plays defense. Gets the handshake on a punt as well. He was looking for that flank angle. Vikla comes in at the same time. Shockwave onto 2. There is a heroic entrance, but I just don't think it's going to do enough. As Clear gets into that backline and executes the Corki. BA knows that this one is donezo, and he's already using that anchor to escape. BNK find another team fight.
What a beautiful fight by BNK Furex. My eyes were locked on to Diablo that entire time. The only thing that hit him was the tail end of a Galio Q. He was completely untouched, but hitting the entire time with his Terminus completed. They have blown this game wide open.
I would say so. They're also going to do the same thing to the Baron that will be going down as we get into this replay. And I actually kind of like this with TSW as an idea, right?
Correct.
Collapse, try and find yourself a numbers advantage and pick up a kill. The problem is, Kellen is so safe with the Fate's Call.
Yeah, and Diablo really playing on the outside of this range so incredibly well. You can see BA gets the Nautilus ultimate on him. Yes, he gets hit by that too. I didn't really count it. And then he's just spacing on the outside while Clear is 1v3ing over on the left, by the way.
Which I think is kind of illegal given the fact that he did get kind of wrecked in lane.
He did.
But he's still Ambessa, as it turns out. 7-4-5. And yeah, doing what it says on the tin.
Are we really going to have a 6-game day? I want to cast more League of Legends.
You know what? We could convince them to just play a 4.
Yeah.
No matter the result.
Yeah.
We could figure that out.
That's part of one of my worst formats of all time.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, people didn't like best of 2s because there was no winner. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, they just...
I remember casting best of 2s back in the LPL days. There were way too many of them.
Just have them play a third game. Because you go for the 3-0 sweep, right?
Oh, Raptor died to Baron.
Wait, he did?
He did. He died to Baron.
I missed it.
Yeah, we all did.
Raptor died to Baron?
Yeah, there was a pip.
No player of the game this time for me. I'm not voting for Raptor.
I mean, he is the only one without a gold lead, which means that despite that, he is still getting so much done. Player of the game material, 100%.
Such a great...
His damage per gold is going to be so much better. You just wait to see the stats.
I think player of the game is actually pretty tricky for this.
I think it's a tricky one as well. I think Kellen has been having an incredible game.
Vikla has the biggest gold lead.
Hey, maybe that's him.
Solid Orianna, but they didn't pull off like the Nocturne combo beautifully once. He has been landing good shockwaves in the fights.
Yeah, and has been very patient with them as well, making sure he gets the right angles. So speaking of angles,
there's a bear behind
wanting
us.
To try and save it. Let's see whether they can get in there. Decent depth charge to start this one off, but the handshake was fantastic. Hostile takeover means that he was just wasting time, and he flashes, get himself out. Raptor dives in with the paranoia, and these health bars evaporate in the blink of an eye. Eddie down to 100 health. He is no longer in this fight, as Diablo, I don't think he was touched. Once again, Vicla's unstoppable, and I think that it's going to be BNK Furex moving to match point in this series. They do not want to go home today.
They made this one look a lot easier. Still a very fast pace of game. 34 kills in 27 minutes. Give us some more.
Yeah,
Give us some more.
Is there another pentakill? No, there's not. The Nexus does not survive this time around. But man, I love the draft out of BNK, and they absolutely made it work. Pressure is mounting here on the faces of these players. Like, this is the hardest part, right? Being down 0-2 with one more game away from elimination. Like, you're just going home.
You play your whole split, you win your region, you fly to Brazil, you lose 6 games in a row and you go home? No, come on.
It's not fair.
You don't want that to happen.
Silver Scrapes, exactly. That guy. That's, I agree. Let's see whether that can happen as we dive into Champion Select thanks to HyperX. And Akali and Nico both taken away already. We do see that the Ashe is continuing to be banned away in this series.
Yeah. A lot of people are just picking Ashe now, not even with Seraphine.
Yeah.
Viper picked it.
I feel like there's a bit of like picking it away so you don't get Ashe Seraphine later.
Exactly. I don't. If your support doesn't like playing the combo, it's better to just pick it yourself with something.
I hope, like, maybe we'll see some even crazier options, right? Like the Callista Ashe coming back or something like that. That would be a little bit of fun. We could. Unfortunately, T1 not at the tournament, and so therefore we may not have that craziness. Carrier would have done it. He would have absolutely done it.
Diablo was so good last game.
He was.
On the Callista. And I'm just still shocked by how young he was and how short the last 15 years have felt. Because,
right?
So we brought up that he's the first player to get 2 pentas in his first international since Imp in 2014.
Yes.
And we mentioned that he was 4 when that happened. But then my brain got stuck in 2014 because you were saying, what if BFX just trolls in this game? And then it ends up as like a 3-1.
Well, not trolls. They just give him a, like, have a more difficult draft, let's say.
Sure.
Or
much like in 2014 when Samsung played Singed and TSM won the game in quarterfinals.
Remember that.
Absolutely, against Imp.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's what we're going to have to channel. Yeah. Was that also the year that TSM managed to, like, somehow win, like, IEM?
IEM Katowice was next year.
The next 2015. Year. I remember when they beat WE in that tournament. That was crazy. That's a very long time ago.
And there's a guy still in TSM shirt, so you can see
there we go.
Remember.
All right. The chants have definitely stopped.
Yes.
There haven't been quite as many. But Rumble Pantheon is not looking like an easy thing to go into.
No, I mean, BNK4X picks away the Jarvan. They pick the Ornn into the Rumble, which is, wait.
Which one do you think is correct?
No.
The names of the players or the coaches and the icon of the team?
So this would be a way for TSW to pick up a win if they have Diablo.
Oh, genius!
If just all the players play for TSW.
Chat, was this part of your plan this whole time? Just swap the players? Okay. Genius!
Team Secret Rose has second pick. And BNK4X is blue side. So I think the player names are where they are.
Right, the player names are right.
Logos are
the team logos and
ones.
the coaches are wrong.
Yeah, and it makes more sense that his toe is playing Jarvan.
That does make sense.
Yeah, and it's not a pick away.
And Dire is also going to be on the LeBlanc. But that makes me more frightened, Jack.
Because this always been like this, or is this a mistake?
I think this might be an error. I don't. Did you make the champion select? I don't think
I've made a lot of mistakes.
I don't think it's your mistake.
I mean, it would be. If I had to try to do these graphics, I would make this mistake constantly.
Was Kellen on Team Secret Whales this whole time?
So I heard we're going to be remaking.
Yeah, we're going to be fixing.
Whoa.
There it is.
It's fixed.
It's fixed. We're all span around.
No, it's
no,
not
we're not.
fixed.
It's just mirrored. Now I'm even more confused. I was having a tough time already. All right, we're gonna cut. Let's just get back into it, okay? The bard's been banned away. The cow is gone as well, and it looks like we're focusing on the bottom side of the map. I'm so confused as well. Just go with it. Just go with it.
The player names are still completely correct.
Yes.
So we know who's playing what.
Yeah. We've just moved on other sides. That's all right. The Lucian has been taken away from Diablo. That does make a whole bunch of sense. And now, what are we going to be seeing banned away here?
I mean, the LeBlanc makes it difficult to play a lot of the hyper carries, and a lot of the high mobility carries have already been taken away. So I do think there's a chance that Dior could have a really good LeBlanc game, but he's going to need to have a good LeBlanc game when they're having relatively low damage with the Jarvan Ornn already. But being
I think this has to be a Caitlyn. Doesn't it have to be a Caitlyn angle? No? Where have I gone?
They just keep swapping it.
Okay. Is this going to be a Caitlyn, though? Now that we're back to
Caitlyn is decent. I mean, so here's the thing.
Aphelios is also
it's the Aphelios Jinx type of game, but both mid laners and junglers have really high assassination potential, but they're still some of the best AD carries, so you have to play so far away from these fights.
Yeah.
And usually when it's Aphelios, you match it with Jinx.
The thing that's really good, though, is that they've banned the Lucian, and Ezreal has already been taken away by Fearless, and there's no Callista or something like that. Histo's going to have a bit of a field day against whatever Diablo wants to play here. The Inara, though, I guess can press ulti and dash. So
without Lulu, it's a little bit less, but it is better against the Jarvan because you can dash out of the Jarvan ultimate.
It does require you to do a few extra steps.
The Inara is a lot better than the Jinx in this situation.
Inara, Amelia, and Kellen.
Jarvan.
So, like, this is why Kellen has looked a whole lot better, is because he loves champions like this. Like, he is an ambulance player. And protecting this young, crazy guy that he has next to him has really been a recipe for success for this team. As Aphelios Thresh, tried and true combination here for TSW, looking to come in here. BA, let's see whether they can actually stand toe-to-toe. I think Thresh can have a more difficult time into the Melio, but
but you just need it with Aphelios. If you try and pick Aphelios into Aurora Pantheon Rumble without something to either enchant him or increase his mobility, you've lost. Like, I really do feel like the only champs you can realistically play Aphelios with are Lulu and Thresh. So Lulu's banned, Thresh is up, they're going to have to take it. But I still like the draft from BFX, mainly because we get to see Diablo's Yunara. He plays so incredibly aggressive on this pick.
And you say that, I'm most excited for the fact that Clear gets to play Rumble for the first time. This is the champion that Clear looks legitimately extremely good on.
Yeah, and so I actually know why they keep swapping it back and forth and like why it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not production's fault, it's the player's fault.
Yeah, so they were in the wrong sides
They were in the wrong
lobby.
sides, so everything that's auto-populating could never match up.
And it's all broken, and then we had to try and figure it out. We couldn't quite do it. Jet and I at least got some fun out of it.
I got so confused.
So confused. But I hope you guys did understand how the drafts looked. Just try and take away the nameplates, which is what we say quite often, and try and work out who looks better in this one. I do feel like the on into Rumble is not real. Like, as far as a nullifying matchup into the Rumble is concerned, a good Rumble still wins that lane.
Yes. I mean, you'll win the lane, but will you win the game? I think it's the bigger question.
Wins the lane by enough, is what I mean. It depends.
Once he wins the lane by enough, does he get a tempo marker?
Yeah, no, he gets to then utilize the tempo markers in his advantage.
True.
In order to get around the map and throw down equalizers. Very strong is that gentleman right there as we look to make our way onto the Rift for game number 3. Could be the final game of the series. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm feeling like we might get more out of it. So far, this tournament, we've had one 3-gamer, and then a 5.
We have.
So it's got to be like reverse sweep setup territory, right?
True. It's either 5 games or it's 3 games.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 series outcomes. Which, it's 3-1 is normally the most common series outcome, and we've yet to have a 3-1.
True.
We're due.
We are absolutely due.
We're due for a 3-1.
So we need, and the problem is with the fact that we are due, I agree with you.
Vikla, bring us home. You can do it, buddy. Give us the 3-1.
Well, the problem is Raptor's playing one of the best junglers on the patch, definitely the best jungler left available, although Jarvan is fine, and Clear is on Rumble. I think Vikla can do anything he would like, like anything he would like in this game. Just have a great time on the Rift, and those two will probably be able to sort it out with a little bit of Diablo's help. And that has kind of been the MO for B&K. The reason why they look so much better is because Vikla was playing so much better.
True.
Until a couple of days ago where it all kind of fell apart, but he has since been ramping back up.
I mean, Vikla's had a very good series.
Yeah.
His Orianna was very good in the last game. And even though you keep asking for more games, I feel like you're secretly happy that your LCK team is about to sweep.
No, never.
Really?
I just like League of Legends.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to be here. I would prefer it if B&K won the series in the end.
Right.
But it doesn't matter by how many games.
Okay.
They can drop a couple, and it'll be totally fine. So I just want, more League of Legends would be fantastic. And I like casting with you, Jack.
Me too.
We don't get that many opportunities. And so if we have to go home after 3...
Do you want to move to Los Angeles?
No.
Okay.
Not really. Do you want to move to Korea?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I tried this in 2019, didn't work there. I waited 6 years, and here we are again. Oh, dear. But no, probably not going to be the thing. As we are just taking a little bit of time to get into Champion Select, I think that might mean that the players are probably loading onto the wrong sides of the
No, they went on the right sides, but they didn't go in the right order.
Oh, no.
So, okay.
Wait, who was jungling
why this is happening? You know why this is happening?
Why is this happening?
These are the 2 teams with the least international experience.
Aha!
They're just not used to...
Wait, no. You still do the same thing in your domestic region. What are you talking about? It's not like they're in like a different fancy international client. It's the same client, chat.
There's got to be a reason, Atlas. This is ridiculous.
The reason is they were being silly.
I mean,
and they messed it up.
At this point, we're going to get a bathroom break fine soon, too.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we've had those. And, oh, don't. I'm sorry, Wolf. On Jat's behalf, I'm really sorry that he said this. I know that he's watching, and you've just triggered him, man. All the way from Brazil.
Can you explain the lore here?
So you get one pass if you desperately need to go, and I think
one emergency pass.
Yeah, one emergency pass, but then if you do it again, you need a bathroom break in the middle of a game and you have to pause, then there's a fine.
Wait, were they pausing in the middle of games for the bathroom?
Yeah.
Of stage games?
Yeah. It was really bad.
Wait,
it
how
got
often
really
would they
bad.
do this?
Yeah. It's just not great. I know that in the LPL there's also big fines if you ever pause for any reason that isn't game related.
Yeah, like if you're gonna like throw up or
I think if it's like a medical emergency, like I broke my arm, probably plausible.
Sure,
I would say.
Don't know how you're gonna do that.
But no, that's not what it was. It was I forgot to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because we have this problem with some teams in NA where we're like ready to go, and then one person's like, hold on, don't start, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we've planned our whole segment, and then we delay, and then once one guy leaves, the other guy leaves, and it's like, no, just stop.
That's the problem, is that
the fact is you actually let them do the first one, and then they were pushing it later into the game.
Yeah, there was a really, really good response to it, though. I think it might have been B&K versus DK or T1 versus DK. I can't remember the exact matchup, but I do remember that the DK players waited a couple of minutes after the other team's player went to the bathroom and then said, oh, well, now I have to go to the bathroom.
Once you start thinking about it.
Yeah, and then we were just sitting there for like 20 minutes.
I know.
It's like there was an interval before the game even started.
And it's not like League of Legends games are that long.
No.
Like, you get banned if you do this in solo queue.
Yeah.
Why are we letting professional players do it?
Exactly. That's a really good point, chat. But you know what? We don't need to talk about it anymore because we are on to the Rift for game number 3. Let's see whether Team Secret Whales can bring us to a 4th. That is what we are desperate for.
We are desperate for 4 or 5.
Desperate 4, get it? Desperate 4.
Oh, nice.
That's a pun, like the guy in the top lane.
Yesterday, the LCS representatives did give us 5 games. Vikla is an honorary LCS representative.
There we go. That's a nice hook. Connecting on to Diablo. Diablo not seemingly
Level
too
1
worried about
thresholds
it.
do nothing, especially if the other team has shields. Doesn't do enough damage, feels like.
Having a look here.
He's stacked up his Q already.
This is the problem with Yunara, isn't it? You're not allowed to let her enter the lane.
I know.
Like if she doesn't hit anything, then she's not great. But he's in the wave now, so it's all a little bit problematic. Ooh, I don't know whether Dire really wanted to do that.
I mean, I've seen some LeBlancs do really well in lane, but this is not a good start. Vikla already hitting level 2 first.
Yeah, we've had a couple of LeBlancs actually win out in the lane as that hook going very, very close. But live now, the Act 2 Battle Pass bundle. Purchasing unlocks the Prestige Requiem Sona skin and the Chroma as well. So make sure you get on in there. But as we come back, I am worried, mainly because I wanted this to be like a for-fun draft out of B&K. It's not what we've got.
Winning
this is
fun.
a terrifying draft.
Yeah.
And very, very stock standard. This is what you'd see out of this team. And they are very, very good at drafting comfort game styles. Not even necessarily picks, but they are often like, it will be a comp like this. There's a lot of stuff to put on the ground. We have upfront CC, and Kellen can keep everyone safe. You know, like that is kind of the vibe that B&K are often looking for. And adding globals onto Raptor sounds like a cheat code to me.
Yeah, I mean, I look at all their champions, and aside from Emilio, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these were picked in game 1 of Phillies. They all seem like stock standard meta champions, whereas the Aphelios Thresh LeBlanc is way deeper in a fearless set from Team Secret Whales. The Jarvan is the one thing that you would expect them to play earlier on in the series. So I've just been a big fan of BNKPRX's drafts this series. I've not liked Secret Whales drafts.
No.
I feel like they've been prioritizing playing the champions that they're good at, but they haven't been able to sync that up with a good team comp.
Yeah, and I actually think this is a really good adjustment because I didn't like very many of the drafts that B&K brought out against BLG. So this is a good adjustment from a few days ago. As Histo looking for a little bit of a possible gank angle as the chain is going to connect somehow, and so Raptor is forced to flash.
Yeah, and you can see both these teams, very little international experience. The 5s you see on the left, that was 2 days ago. That was 0 as of last week. Kellen was at 20 before this first stand tournament started, so very much trying to get more comfortable playing international competition for both these teams.
Yep, and it was a while back for Kellen as well. I'm pretty sure it was, what was it, KT 2023 or DK 2023? for Kellen. I wanted to forget it. That's why I forgot it.
Good.
It was not a great time. BA as well with a bit of extra experience. So experience in the same positions here on both of these teams, matching up relatively well. Although B&K, certainly with their players being a lot younger this time around.
Yeah,
This is a slower early game, Jack. I think. Is it good? For Team 6, that is. Very nice hook to come forward. The grab at him as well, forcing out the heal. As Kellen in a little bit of trouble. Diablo still at full health, and he's just walking towards this Aphelios. Gets the ghost out, and I don't know whether Eddie's allowed to walk back up towards Diablo as he gets played back to Flash, but he connects it, and that's first blood over to BA. Oh no! Diablo had the fancy feet, and unfortunately, yeah, Kellen paid for it.
I mean, also 3 summoners burned on the side of BNK Furex while dying, so that's exactly the start you want to have. And in the Felios Thresh lane, they only had to burn the Ghost, and they get that kill.
Well, we've got possibly more killing to be happening here in this mid lane, but never mind. Flag and Drag is going to bring Histo out of there. Raptor is still going to head around and see whether he can challenge, though, as Histo understands exactly what's going on. Decent stun does come forward as the Conqueror is procced. BA is, though, roaming over earlier and throws out the shield with that Lantern. Oh, not quite able to get there as Vikla over the wall, and he just executes Dire! Now goes between the worlds, and Histo might be falling down as well. Oh, no, it was going so well until it all fell apart.
Vikla is showing up in this series.
It's the year of Vikla, man. It might not have been like a couple of days ago. That wasn't the day, right? But it is still the year.
Okay.
I say this all the time.
I know.
Your reaction is the same as almost everyone else.
I know.
Yeah.
You've gaslighted enough people into thinking that Vikla's incredible.
No, I haven't. I definitely haven't. I'm terrible at it.
The year of Vikla is a legitimate saying that people say.
It is.
Is everyone in on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that it's not... Obviously, the year is pretty young at this point in time.
True.
So it could be the year of Vikla. I just like to say it pretty definitively. Yeah. As nice little hook to come on through here as Kellen in a little bit of trouble gets played back once again, but he is Melio, so he might be safe. Raptor makes his way down, and that is going to protect this bottom lane, but it's not the dominance that we've seen out of Diablo and Kellen, as Eddie is up so much CS, man. 16 in the lead. That's a couple of waves that he has over the young Prodigy.
Diablo is going to have to bide his time in this game because they're losing this lane. It could have been a little bit worse. I mean, BA had to burn his heal in the mid-fight. It was actually shocking that he didn't use heal. The guts it took from Eddie and BA to not use heal in that initial trade down bot where they got the first blood is crazy, but he lost a decent amount of his advantage there. They're still able to use their bot prime to get Drake, though. First Drake of the series. I said that
there we go.
Win.
At least they get the Drake.
The problem is D-Ray's down 20 CS on the block.
Yeah, he is getting, he's having a rough time into Vikla. The fact that it was Vikla that picked up the kill in that last exchange was definitely the worst thing for TSW because it does put that huge hole in the mid lane.
Okay, and I apologize. Vikla's having a good game. You're just extrapolating it to the year.
Yeah.
He's had like a really good series.
Well, I mean, it's sort of my thing because I also really like very low sample size stats that aren't actually real.
Right.
But they are real, like the technically correct.
I mean, it's true. It is the year of Vikla in the sense that he's a top 2 mid in the LCK.
And he is alive in the year of 2026. So theoretically, it is his year no matter what.
He's having a better year than Faker.
Absolutely, he is.
Okay.
So far. Although Faker did win the Kesper Cup.
Oh, was that was in 2025?
Was it? I mean, I casted that tournament, so I should know. But I thought it was just after 2026 started. But you might be right.
Maybe. It's the lunar year of Vikla.
There we go.
In a couple weeks.
We had to do a little bit of dancing around it, but we got there in the end. All right. Well, that is an electrocution, as Dire is kind of okay for now, but you can see that CS number is not the greatest. So this is B&K with, and I think this is kind of what we expected in this game. Top side of the map, very far ahead. Bottom side, struggling just a little bit.
And the Ornn versus Rumble, I'd say Pun is doing very well.
I'd say so too.
8 CS, 7 CS now, while stacking up his magic resist against Aurora Rumble, so he can pretty freely build MR for a good portion of this game before Diablo's going to be able to shred him and be very tanky. So it's a really good Ornn angle, and he's honestly, now that he has the MR, it's going to be pretty difficult for Rumble to extend that lead any farther.
Oh, goodness.
The Keswick Cup ended December 14th, 2025.
Yeah, and I was there casting it, so it's kind of it's disappointing.
In December.
You know, I just became a father. Time has melded, as you would know, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw you at the hotel, and we were just like, "What's up?" Not realizing that I didn't do any international events last year because of having a kid.
Yeah, we hadn't seen each other for like 2 years.
But it felt like it had been less time.
And it's been a lot of these though over the time. So we've gotten used to just being mates with 6-month breaks. You know, it's fine. Or 6 months or 2 years, depending on what it is.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Clear is trying to do damage. He hit a pun, but Spectre's cowl is kind of ridiculous, as now Raptor is discovered. Dire actually flashes, trying to get out of the way, but still gets chained up, and now cannot get out of the Cataclysm. Max range on the hook, and Raptor goes down. I think it might be happening. It could be happening.
Woo! Really clutch kill for D-Ray, keeping him in this game. Really needs to inject himself with gold, otherwise he won't be relevant later, but he did a great job getting the E out of Raptor early while still landing the root that allowed the rest of the team to fly in for that kill.
Oh man, Team Secret Whales coming alive.
They've had hands in all these games. They just haven't had any objectives to play off of. So if they're actually able to start getting set up for these Drakes, which they've gotten through bot prio this game, right? The fact that they've had the bot prio has set up these other plays for him. They just need to continue to use Eddie's strength to move it around the map.
Well, another thing as well is that Pun has been a linchpin for this team in the earlier stages of the game. This time around on much more of a scaling pick, but as you've said, is doing just fine in the matchup. Down 10 CS is about what you'd say for Ornn winning, pretty much. Wasn't really what I was expecting, as now they might even be able to kill clear here, but it is Histo getting out and heading back towards his Krugs. Those harpoons really starting to hurt there.
The more I see games with like Ornn Rumble in them, or if you have like a Cassante something matchup, the less important I think it is for a jungler to ever say hello. Like, it just doesn't seem like it matters if the jungler goes there, and the time would better be spent elsewhere. So I'm not a huge fan of this Histo play, because even if they get the kill, I don't think it's really going to meaningfully change the game. Whereas with his camps respawning already on the bot side, if he reset, went bot, and applied more pressure to get his Aphelios ahead, I'd much rather that play.
Well, you can see the grubs were just taken right in front. And Histo actually still committing to this. Yeah, this is kind of insane. Does have camps respawning towards the bottom side as well. And so Raptor could theoretically, once they see Histo, he can head over there. Well, the ram comes out. This is a very, oh, never mind. There is the Grand Starfall coming on in. Clear will go down as Raptor is trying to save the play. I don't know whether he necessarily needed to, as the spear is going to go wide. Vikla teleports in. That is so many resources that BNK just put into a losing play.
That's a crazy mind control there by Team Secret Whales.
Yeah.
Getting the kill is one thing, but to get Pantheon ult and Aurora TP, which saves D-Ray in the lane, gives him a couple plates, that's huge for their game.
That's kind of ridiculous. Okay, Diablo was on a reset, so he gets back to the lane and will be able to farm things up once again, but he is still behind. And it was Vikla that had the big lead here for BNK. And so the result is D-Ray was able to go for a reset, didn't get punished for it. It's just all good things in Team Secret Whales.
Absolutely huge play. Next Drake is already on the map as well. Neither top laner has TP, so they're going to be left alone up there. I think it's rather tricky for either team to just straight up start this Drake, but we'll see if Team Secret Whales feels safe to do so. Ward inside the pit.
Yep. I do think that a first item Storm Razor feels good as a one-item spike on the Aphelios in comparison to a Kraken Slayer.
Yeah.
But you see whether they do commit to anything, as the Rift Scuttler will be taken. Vikla is the one that's strong, right? He's got his dash cannon done. And so in comparison, as far as these mid laners are concerned, it is a very big Aurora. As LeBlanc does need to go back and spend some money, I imagine, because just for the Lost Chapter is kind of insane.
Yeah, there's also ultimate going to be back up in 2 seconds there for Vikla, so he's used it immediately.
Yes, he is just going to, he procs the quest as well, as D-Ray is, going to survive just barely.
Oof, close.
I thought that there might be a little bit of return damage coming on through, but had already happened, and so he will be able to make his way out. But that does mean that BNK has full control of this river, and should be able to at least get wards down, see everything that they need to. But thankfully, the Rift Scuttler did go over to Histo, so they have irremovable vision in the area.
Vikla's been the best player on the team this game.
100%.
Yeah. The game of Vikla.
Maybe it should be the game of Vikla. Vikla?
Yeah.
Vikla. in this one.
Start small.
Yeah.
Work up.
Yeah. I did start with the year of Vikla, though.
You did.
So, I don't know. Maybe I should just commit. We'll see how we go. That is going to be Team Secret Whales locking down a second dragon. We now have an Infernal Soul once again. But it's double dragon for TSW, and that is going to mean that they're the ones that are able to put on that pressure. They can control the tempo markers, as it were.
This is a good start.
It really is.
This is a really good start. With the Aphelios Thresh scaling, I'd say the Thresh doesn't scale great. The Aphelios will scale very well as long as Vikla doesn't get too fed, because the ability to one-shot him can still be pretty high later on in the game. Pun's doing great. The gank that Histo spent a lot of time top lane actually did a great job of relieving the map pressure as well, because it was able to bait out the TP from Vikla and the ultimate from Raptor. So this is actually one of those games where you try to keep it pretty standard.
Oh, and this actually could work as well, as the Ram is going to get called. No flash, like you say, and it's an easy flag and drag. Clear just realizing that he has to try and do what he can, and what he can is absolutely nothing. There was also a LeBlanc making her way up just in case the cavalry was available. And so Dire going to clear out this wave and allow a reset here for Pun. It's perfectly played.
Yeah, gank into reset where the soul laner swap lanes.
Maybe not so good, as Dire is going to go the wrong direction. A few autos do come on through as Vikla flashes. The auto's in the air, but he is still healing up, and oh god! Maybe it isn't the game anymore, as now Raptor is going to try and get underneath this turret. He should be able to do so as a teleport. He's going to bring Clear towards the top side. Doesn't have his equalizer though, so this is not exactly the scariest Rumble making his way into this top lane. Histo, not a whole lot of buttons, and now Flag and Drag comes on forward, gets the flash out of Raptor, and in goes Dire with his health bar fixed.
So, in this extended sequence, we've seen Ornn run bot, teleport top, LeBlanc go back, teleport top,
Cataclysm to trade for another flash! Twice. And he doesn't get the knock-up with the Searing Charge, but it doesn't matter. Raptor, he is still going back in because it's another teleport from Vikla to bring him into the top lane. What is up here, man? Is there gold in the ground that I have not seen?
It's such an insane objective, the top wave.
The top lane, just the lane, Chad.
We are going to invest 4 teleports on securing the top wave. We are not going to take Rift Herald. This is not mid-prime.
Oh, no.
This is not an objective setup.
No.
This is League of Legends. This is how you play.
Yep. All right, let's have a look at it once again. I don't know how we're going to put this replay package together because this kind of went forever.
By the time we finish this replay, we'll be in game 4.
I was going to say, yeah.
How long this sequence was, but watching, they're fighting again.
I mean, it's just a pip. That's all we have to do. Watch that if you...
No, the pip is live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So watch that if you want to see what's going on right now.
I thought we were going to pip the second half of the replay.
That would have been a decent idea.
It all happened in the top lane. The fact that D-Ray gets out of this is insane. They get the shutdown onto Vikla. It makes Pun super fed now against the double AP. And here's the second part of the replay. Flash ult to get the flash. He falls with the EQ. That allows D-Ray to line up the LeBlanc E.
And then Raptor running in because he has to protect this teleport from Vikla.
But then while the replay, they fought again. There were 3 fights in a row.
Okay, now they're fighting again. As Clear is dead one more time underneath this bottom lane outer turret. Oh my goodness, it's 1-7. Team Secret Whales is running them around the map.
Clear has died 4 times. That last kill was probably worth about 150 gold.
All right, let's have a look at the Coinbase gold grind. This is one of the smaller of the gold differences between Diablo and Eddie.
Yeah, they've been hitting minions is what we're learning.
Yeah.
No gold from kills, no gold from monsters.
They have just not been really involved.
Let's farm, guys.
The thing is, all of the insanity has happened. It's been sort of an isolated 2v2 or 1v1 between the Eddie carries, and Eddie's doing just fine in this game. So, working very well thus far. I mean, I don't think we should be counting chickens just yet, because, I mean, it's still a Yunara.
So where does that saying come from?
Count your chickens before they hatch?
Before they, so you're counting eggs as chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, you don't count chickens when they're eggs.
Because inherently there's nothing wrong with counting chickens. You need to finish the count. Because like I'm going to count chickens if I have chickens.
Yeah. Just don't count the eggs, assuming that they're chickens.
So don't count the win while the game's still happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it means. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I shouldn't use it anymore.
I mean, you just got to finish
stupid.
it. You can't count the chickens before they hatch. That makes sense.
There's quite a few of those where if you think about it too much, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have an example off the top of my head. I do remember...
Keep using idioms and I'll question them all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was my welcome to International League of Legends. Did you know that?
Counting chickens?
No. Just idioms that then got questioned.
Oh, okay.
It was Kobe, when I said, oh, that's not something to write home about. He was like, what? Why would you write home about it? And I was like, wait a second. He completely trolled me. He knew exactly what that saying was. All right, we've got a team fight breaking out potentially. Vikla goes through the worlds, as Eddie might be in a little bit of trouble. It's the first time we've really seen an honest 5v5. And let's see whether Team Secret Wales can come out on top, even in a scenario like this, as the Rift Herald will be breaking open his outer turret in the mid lane. And the gold lead is going to be basically even. Like 1,000 gold at 20 minutes is not huge.
They get the first turret bonus, and they have pretty good control on River. Eddie, his Achilles heel is getting caught out of position. He's stuck on that mid wave and has no lantern to get back to the fight. So he's still having to catch this, and they're going for him.
Brent Starfall does come on through. They get the flash out of Eddie as well. Can BA actually save him? The answer is absolutely not. There's the Cataclysm, though, as Histo throws his body into the mix, and they take down the Inara. Flag and drag to try and stop Raptor as well, but he goes down immediately. And Clear just is a walking barbecue in this fight, and he cannot be stopped, only maybe by Pun, who is very difficult to kill. There's a great hook out of BA, though, as Raptor just dives into the middle of all of them. He thinks that he's old Pantheon and can just tank up the turret. The answer is he can.
He can. He can and he will. He's in the same way. Diablo is Imp. Raptor is old and 2 Pantheon at the same time. Oh my goodness, it all starts with a beautiful pick onto Eddie. They realize that the Thresh Lantern is gone. He showed himself on the wave, not wanting to lose position, and they execute him. And then everyone else ends up kind of running over top and through the Rumble ultimate. So while they do get the kill onto Diablo, it's going to be a tough fight from here because they just don't have damage. Their most fed member is an Ornn who's stacking MR, so he can't really kill people when Melio is there because Melio's going to shield his damage. And then just amazing execute at the end there by Raptor.
Raptor is the AD carry in this particular fight. As I think that we're back to live once again. Great hook to come on through from BA as the Moonlight Vigil does come down, doing a little bit of damage there with the Infernum. As Raptor continuing to fight. Vikla makes his way up. He was on vision, but dodges out of the way of the Searing Charge absolutely beautifully. And then just ducks between the worlds. Does look like BNK haven't found a foothold to actually start a battle here, but they want to be able to take this dragon as this game is so incredibly close still. Team Secret Wales, can they actually lock down this soul point though? That will be so huge as Diablo playing up front and personal in this team fight already. As the Ram comes down, doesn't exactly get a lot of value, and Clear just says absolutely not. The rest of the team cannot make their way into the fight as now Pun is in the back of the pit. Nothing that he can do as Clear is even able to take down Eddie by himself as he picks up a double kill.
Rumble can start 0-4-0 and then still steamroll through the back line of Team Secret Wales.
I got distracted by Pun and Diablo doing something. How did that happen?
We're going to find out. The fact that Histo gets this Drake does still leave a win condition later, but he does half the damage with a couple of harpoons over the wall at the start. So when Eddie falls through, as we're looking at the top side of the fight, he's already at like 800 health. So,
oh my God.
Eddie, you don't walk into the flamethrower.
No. And he flashes to avoid the hook and then immediately just burns them as they're making their way in. Beautifully played there by Clear. I mean, his laning phase has been atrocious this whole series, right?
Clears.
Sorry, Clears.
Yeah, Clear's laning phase.
Yes, it has been not great, but
he was
his team fighting is so good.
It is. I mean, this series is reminding me of the Team Secret Wales G2 series. Yeah. Games were close, and Game 3 is where it felt like Team Secret Wales at the start was like, oh man, they might actually win this one, and then they just lost fight after fight. Now, Vikla with a 2-level advantage on D-Rays LeBlanc, probably going to take down yet another turret, actually open up a gold lead, and Eddie...
He's lost the lead.
He's lost the lead, so it's going to be... Ornns don't necessarily carry...
I mean, it's still a decent amount of gold every ornament, you know?
Yeah, I guess that makes the gold pretty even if you include the ornaments. They're down in experience.
The problem is, even is not what we were expecting for this state of the game, right?
No.
Like, this was a TSW that had so much control, but then as soon as team fights happened, they started losing. As now, Pun is going to get juked there just a little bit here. Still, Clear is going to die, but that was a little bit funny.
Yeah, I mean, classic play. send your solo laner down the lane with the other solo laner.
Yep.
Sacrificing the top wave, Histo's going to clean that up, but it caught clear cloth guard, especially because both teleports were going to be on cooldown.
Yep.
You usually only pull off that play when you have a teleport up, so nice little tempo trap.
Yeah, and also
by Pun and Dire there.
Playing defensively on the top side of the map as well. You saw Raptor up there, was looking for a cross map and was denied any opportunity to do so. Vikler is doing a lot of damage though on this Aurora. Does have the Shadow Flame now completed. It is a lot of burst damage out of this guy, and you saw Histo is not quite able to tank that one up, although he does have an ornament of his own with the Sundered Sky now complete and upgraded. Okay, Raptor is wrapping around and just going to flash in to kill Dire. He is going to wait to get himself out, and there is the snipe. That was beautiful. Looks around to see whether anyone's watching and then kills it.
No look as well at the end. Dire's having a rough series.
He is.
Yeah, and Raptor is having a very good series killing Dire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his favorite thing.
And we wanted to talk about the mid laners as well, looking for a little bit of redemption. Even though it is the year of Vikler, I don't know whether this is the time to talk about that redemption arc so far at this tournament just yet.
Not yet.
It's not been about mid laners.
It's a very good series for Vikler. I'm giving you that. He's playing.
I think it's been a very good series for junglers and AD carries so far, and Pun. That's what I'm going to say. As BNK just going to just walk down the mid lane. Yeah. And they will take down the inner turret. Looking to try and get a bit of sieging done elsewhere as well, as now Histo goes in. Clear, still doesn't have his flash available. I feel like that has been on cooldown all series long, or at least all game long. And that will be Histo taking him down. That was
really sloppy. Clear had, he landed an E, so Histo just went straight into ultimate out of the turret. That turned the turret on him because of Leandri's tip. So he just instantly dies.
Yeah. So, a little bit unfortunate. He is a 3-7-2 Rumble that just single-handedly won them a team fight.
But he's still going to be able to press R on Eddie.
I know.
And then if Eddie decides to walk into him as well, it'll make it a little easier for him to execute.
Well, there's also now an Infinity Edge done on Diablo, and so this is the time where the Yunara is exceptionally terrifying.
Okay, he bided his time. This is what we were waiting for with Diablo. He had a slow start to the game, and then we were hoping to see some big-time team fights. And D-Ray is caught again.
Oh, no. Between the Worlds, that is a cute little distortion play as Raptor decides that he doesn't want to go any further forward. So D-Ray will make his way out of this one. And Team Secret Wales, once again, looking for that cross-map opportunity with that man advantage that they have. Diablo playing very far up, as you could imagine, but Kellen is there to play defense. Lurkle goes down as BA taking a fair bit of damage. Gets out of the way of the ramp beautifully, though, does Diablo, as he flashes in and dies immediately. There's a flash from Vikler as well, trying to get Eddie out of there, and he does get the flash as Dire is going to get taken down as well. Chat, that was the quintessential other side of Diablo.
I was waiting for him
to sick out play.
Yeah, this is so incredible.
Well, Eddie's dead. It's the year of Vikler, by the way, as Pun now it's going to take a lot of killing here for Vikler.
I think
and I think maybe just go home. You know, maybe that's not what we really want. As unfortunately, no Infernal Soul here for TSW either. It's going to be the first rake of the game here for BNK as they take that one down.
Raptor has denied that. I really want to see the fight from Diablo again. He died so fast.
He just, didn't he had that hero, like the hero's energy as well.
Did he flash in to do that?
You remember that movie, The Other Guys?
Yeah.
Where Sam Jackson and The Rock jump off the roof? That's what it looked like.
He flashed into the turret and then Pun instantly knocked him up with the Orny and he died instantly. That's not what he's been a superhero for the first 2 games and then he just face plants.
I mean, it's beautiful. I think you have to have moments like that. It's humbling, right?
You can't play that close to the edge and never fall off.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It just shows that he is playing on a knife's edge, and you wouldn't know that if he didn't sometimes fall off. There is the Lantern, a little bit late on the control ward to try and block that one from being taken. As the ram comes down, Pun will find the knock up here. As the flash into the hook, that was so sick from Kellen, and that's going to keep Diablo alive. Kellen is still going to go down as he dashes out of the Cataclysm, and this time, Diablo may just be that hero that we needed him to be in the last fight. There's the other side of it, and BNK will march down the mid lane.
Get down, Mr. President. Diablo is saved there
such
by
a
Kellen.
good flash from Kellen, my God.
It might actually win them the series because Eddie got assassinated by Vikla on the backside, and Diablo might be pushing down the Nexus.
All right, let's see whether they do manage to finish off this game as D-Ray pops like a balloon, and the Nexus turrets are going to follow suit. Oh no! It is going to be a clean sweep, and Team Secret Wales will be the first team eliminated from First Stand 2026 as B&K FearX keep themselves alive in the tournament, and they do so pretty comfortably.
Congratulations to BNK FearX. They will move on to face G2 in the final qualification match of this group. It also means Team Secret Wales will exit First Stand without winning a series.